쓰세지?
ATEEZ newest album is just around the corner, called Golden Hour Part 2. I didn't know that. I mean, there was Part 1, so obviously, but I don't know why it just never registered that, you know, the next album will be Part 2.
Me too. I thought it was just going to be Golden Hour. Yeah.
Earlier than we thought, I think. If you're like me, I didn't expect it to drop this early.
No, me too.
We got a couple days left.
Like I wasn't even actually expecting though.
No.
Like not at all.
So what we have here today is the preview video. I'm assuming
Sick.
because of the length that they're gonna go through each track, like last time with Golden
Yeah.
Hour.
Nice.
So we're just gonna jump into it. The Golden Hour Part 1 album is still pretty fresh in our heads. I at least listen to it regularly. So we're gonna be able to compare a little bit. Also, before we start, we got tons of ATEEZ content over at our Patreon page. So if you're an ATEEZ, then head over there, check it out. Otherwise, let's get this.
Get it on.
3, 2, 1.
Click.
Let's see.
Boom. I think we mastered it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Pretty dark and deep though. Heavy.
Oh. Hey.
Oh, deep dive. Yes.
Yeah. Ah, so short.
Oh. I love this. Piano.
Oh, that's heavy.
Ratchet.
Yeah, the visuals are crazy.
Oh, they got strings.
It's gonna MRI scan of everything.
Yo, this is straight up hip hop, man.
Yeah, that's nice.
Nice. Oh.
Oh, yo, this sounds a lot like
Work.
And this is the title track.
They got this like Latin vibe. Oh, okay. They got the strings again over here.
A string?
Yeah. Sort of like reggaeton atmosphere.
Visuals.
Sick. Yo, the visuals are insane.
As well. Like similar, but all the sources are so different.
Yeah. Oh. Oh. It's totally different vibe. Nice. It's like cyberpunky.
Yo, that was fire.
House.
The bass. It's a cool sound.
Wow. Ooh, whoa. It was very poppy.
Took a turn.
Oh.
That's pretty new.
Yeah. It's very new.
Like the
whoa.
chord, like color wise, it's a very new progression from ATEEZ. Oh man, that is so short.
What the hell?
Give me just 1 second.
Yeah. me too.
We're gonna listen to it just one more time on our own, and then we'll start talking.
Moments later.
We'll just like quickly go through what we think, like first impression wise, for all 6 tracks.
Very hip hop related.
Yeah. Just like overall, I guess, impression is that while they are maintaining the Golden Hour sound, or even, you know, the previous ones, like the Outlaw album or the ones before, when it comes to like the general rhythm pattern or the certain source, like the way it sounds, very different feel track to track. Like it sounds similar, but if you listen to it, the sources that they use, the rhythms that they use are all very different.
The pattern, tempo,
exactly.
the sources,
sort of like
instruments.
just tricking you into thinking that it's the same, but it's totally not.
And I think it's because although it's all hip hop, it's like most of the songs were like ratchet type of genres. So that's why it's kind of clicking like, oh shit, it sounds like it got this pattern or like the pathway, but it's different. Just like within the boundary thing.
The actual bass or the drum sources are more or less different for every track. Let's start with Deep Dive.
Wow, this is so deep. Yeah. Definitely deep.
Next. That's like perfect summary of what Deep Dive was.
That is true though.
It is. It's more laid back compared to the ones that follow.
Very minimalistic also. That bass is so heavy.
And you hear the one interesting signature sound from this one is like the like that sound. Yeah, love that.
And those like harmonizations, like the vocal effects.
So that's sort of like how they open up the album, right? But then we get to scene 1.
Yo,
that's what it's called, right? Scene 1 Value, I think.
I'm actually
piano notes.
Waiting for this so much. Oh shit! Right away, like the piano hits, bang, bang, bang. Like, wow.
Oh man, it's like the song you play in the car, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's got a lot more like accents on the hi-hats because that's what's important. Like you gotta get that.
True.
You gotta get the feel.
Yeah. If you don't think that it's 80s, it sounds very like rap heavy type of beat.
I think it's filtered, but you also get that string sound, right?
Yeah, at the end.
Right? Which is sort of how ATEEZ usually, especially for the recent albums, define themselves and kind of separate them from like the genre conventions or genre tropes. And then we get the title track, Ice on My Teeth.
Oh, like the title.
First of all, cool name, right?
Yeah. This one definitely had this like work type of vibe.
Yeah,
especially the pre-chorus. And when the chorus actually hits, it reminds me of Taiga type of beat.
Right, and this one also has like in the chorus, especially with that string sound.
Yeah,
and
this
before
was
that you hear the piano again. And I think the reason why we think about work a lot is because of the top line as well, and the way the harmonies go, like vocal harmonies and everything.
Recently ATEEZ keep merging a lot of like Latin atmosphere into it, and the pre-chorus part definitely had that with that 808 bass and no, and gotta work, and that kind of like beat is coming in. But whereas I actually thought work type of chorus was gonna come in, but this is a different type of ratchet again.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's more like
it's a bit more relaxed.
Taiga type. Yeah.
In a way, the next track, Man on Fire, is like stronger first impression wise.
Yeah.
When it comes to like the aggressiveness to it.
Yeah.
And they kind of get rid of the obvious string or piano sounds. Instead, they use like a plucked synth type of sound that is matched with the main percussive elements.
It got this like more straight up like reggaeton atmosphere.
Yeah,
which is present is more attacky. It's more clear if you know what I mean by that.
Oh no, 100. That's exactly what I mean. And because of that, I feel like the vocals sort of like stay a bit more like back compared to the other tracks. It's more about that main instrumental sound, like the doom bum bum, like the whole rhythm is more important. And then I gotta say, as far as the preview goes, Selfish Waltz is probably my favorite.
Yeah. I get tell, yeah.
It's especially because you get like a measure or two of like that side-chained, like you said, cyberpunky beat with the synth and everything. And then like in the middle of it, that's when you get the drop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Then it disappears. And I'm hoping that it comes back.
Yeah, I think it will.
It has to, right?
Yeah.
Probably
definitely.
one of my favorite sounds.
Yeah, me too. I'm actually
memory. Like I would love to hear this track and sort of. I mean, I love this track to go in a direction that I'm thinking right now. But I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what you thought about it, but this is my favorite so far.
No, this is my favorite too. When like Selfish Waltz played, it was just like straight up turning points. Like all these before was more like hip hop based stuff, whereas like the color change is totally more dark. Yeah, just again like cyberpunky, and it was more like a house or future house type of beat also. And
which ATEEZ is really good at. And even like if you listen to it, it's very short, but like the chord progression also doesn't sound too obvious than the usual beat that we get when it comes to this kind of sound. So like all in all, I think I am really digging and really liking the direction that they're taking with this.
And the fact that the title Selfish Waltz.
Yeah.
That's what makes it more interesting.
Yeah. Yo, the titles in this album is really nice. Like, I really like the titles. And like the visuals that they are accompanying with the music preview in this video is incredible. Whoever did this, amazing stuff. Now, last track. Enough.
Yo, this one definitely reminded me of like I think this is a pre-chorus when it starts, right? Like
I think so.
It reminds me of the earlier ATEEZ days, where they had this like really that pirate theme, discovering the universe and like maybe some Inception kind of thing.
Specifically with the chord progression and the top line.
Yeah, and when the chorus actually hit, it feels like it's first time hearing these type of music from ATEEZ.
Yeah, it's
like from my memory.
Like, we know this chord progression.
Yeah,
and it's not the genre that I was expecting. This chord progression usually comes in genres that are not really shown from ATEEZ albums.
No, and it actually weirdly reminds me of like Taylor Swift or Katy Perry, that type of music. Like it's very pop. Sounds.
It's sort of mixing with dance music elements though. You know what I mean? Like that kind of genre, pop / EDM type of thing.
Honestly, like the surprise wise, when they turned this into chorus, that was the moment I was like, oh shocked the most out of the whole
true
previews.
Even within this song, Enough, the section that comes before that drop is not as bright as the chorus.
Oh.
And I wasn't expecting it to have that kind of like bright turn at the chorus. Like it almost felt so abrupt. I mean, we haven't like actually listened to the whole song, so we don't know, but from what we heard, like the direction it was taking felt like it would go in a darker path, but it changed completely. And yeah, so I agree that shock-wise, this was the most surprising track, and specifically the most surprising section. Just because it's Golden Hour Part 2, I was expecting the last track to sound a bit more like Empty Box. So I thought, okay, so they're gonna change the direction for sure, but in like similar ways as it was with Empty Box. Like it's a bit more calm and
like the message wise, I guess.
A bit more
the doves
sad
flying
too, and sure it might be, but it's not really comparable to Empty Box because it's a completely different genre and different feel. And that was already gone by the time we heard Selfish Waltz, because that was also out of nowhere.
And this was the only bright song. And if you look at the visuals, the only song that changes the color
and kind of gets out of that.
They're all flying. The eight doves, right?
Yeah,
8. What is this?
Birds.
Yeah.
Crows. No, seagulls. Birds. Yeah.
No, it actually has this tail on the head. So
maybe it's like a blue jay. I don't know.
Something like that. Well, I don't know. Not bird professional. So.
I love how you say you're not a professional rather than like an expert.
Expert, yes.
Professional. I like that. But professional.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, what's your thought on this album as far as previews go compared to the first part of Golden Hour?
I feel like the first Golden Hour actually had those like a story or image kind of thing. Thinking about that Golden Hour.
Yeah.
But this one doesn't come to me in those storylines. Oh, it's just because it says Golden Hour. So I'm just trying to think close to that way. But yeah, it's just like the music genre-wise, it's just keep hitting me.
I'll feel similar ways, but it's slightly different. Or maybe you meant this as well. It's not that this album, and it's preview, so obviously we can't really get everything, but it's not that this album is lacking in that storytelling. It's more so that for me, because the music in a way was more interesting than the first part, I wasn't paying attention to the lyrics. And that's the only reason I didn't think about Golden Hour.
Exactly. Me too.
Yeah, it just has a more interesting musical arc to it. Had this image of what the songs are gonna be like, and that was completely flipped. Golden Hour Part 1, it kind of subverted my expectation when it came out, but because I'm so excited for this, maybe it's not as surprising when it actually comes out. There's not much room to kind of flip our expectation and deliver something crazy. But if it does, I feel like I will like this album even more than the first part.
Yeah.
Another reason why we couldn't really focus on the Golden Hour part as easily, and this isn't about like, oh, personally I like the music so I didn't think. It's more about like the titles too. because the titles are a bit more ambiguous. Feels like it has nothing to do with Golden Hour, right? Because like the first one, the title track was like work, and it got empty box and blind and everything, and you can connect those words more clearly to the idea of Golden Hour once you hear certain keywords in the lyrics. But if you get like Ice on My Teeth or even I don't know, Man on Fire or Scene 1, Value, like they're more abstract. And I think that also makes it a little bit more difficult. But I like that they're playing around with different ways of communicating the idea of Golden Hour. So yeah, all in all, I think we can agree that we're both very excited for this album to drop and to be able to check it out and even compare it to the first album. So yeah, obviously we'll be back when the album actually drops to check out all the tracks in order. It's gonna be a fun week of reacting to ATEEZ songs. So we hope we will see you there. And for now, let us know please what your favorite track was from this preview and what you think this album is going to be like compared to the first one. And again, if you want more ATEEZ content while you're waiting for this album to drop, then check out our Patreon page. The link will be in the description below. We'll see you in the next video, everybody.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye. Insa!
Valerie May Lopez,
Karin Duarte,
Agnes Lam,
Jen K. Dot,
Lena Anasteville,
Fatima Alfazia,
Micklin,
Alondra Sarahi,
Lulu,
Noor Razni, Azwan,
Taylor,
Valerie Dilbeck,
Binny,
Vanessa Kononchuk,
Pia Husted,
Salary,
Malika Brooks, Angelico,